Hey guys, it's Ashley with 3R Sales and Service. We're taking a look at an 8-foot deluxe skid assembly today. This is the YETI package. It features an 8-gallon cold water pressure washer and an 11 gallon per minute gas engine Softwash system. This rig is really ideal for residential cleaning. You can do some commercial cleaning, all types of property maintenance type cleaning. So we'll go ahead and start with the passenger side, where the hose reels can face the curb side of the house. We have up front here, which is closest to the cab of the truck, this is our garden hose reel. The garden hose reel actually attaches to the house and then fills your water tank, and then this serves as a buffer tank for both of your systems. So we have 100 feet of garden hose on this reel. It'll hold up to 200 feet of 3/4 inch hose if you'd like. We have our Softwash hose is 1/2 inch hose with at a 300 foot capacity, and then we have 200 feet of our 3/8 pressure washer hose. You'll notice all three of these hose reels, these are Titan aluminum hose reels. They do have a power rewind to them, so whenever you press this button, it'll automatically reel up your hoses. You just kind of guide it onto the reel. It's nice and easy, it's very quick, and it really helps that end of the day fatigue after you've reeled up these hoses over and over and over. Just makes the job site cleanup a lot faster. The garden hose is filling a 200-gallon water tank. You'll see this green hose comes off the reel and goes in through here. It actually gets filtered before it goes into the water tank. And what's underneath this filter on the inside of the tank is a float valve. So that float valve will shut off the water supply once your tank is full, and then it will continue to fill the tank once you start using it through one of your systems and the water level depletes. So it's a really easy way to maintain water without having to take a look and check back on it constantly. We will move on down. On our Softwash reel, we do have a gauge on here. With Softwashes, especially with these gas engine ones, it's really important to make sure that you're working within a safe pressure range on them. A lot of these components are poly or plastic components, and we don't want to use too much pressure on them and create any service issues down the road. So this is very clear where it's safe to use it and where the danger zones are. And then on our pressure washer reel, we just have our pressure washer nozzles attached to it. These are the standard ones that come with the pressure washer. We have all kinds of other attachments available for our 8-gallon systems. The skid itself is made of a really heavy gauge aluminum. So this is solid. You don't have to worry about anything cracking or anything down the line. It's built to last, it's built to bounce around on the road, and it's built to hold heavy equipment on the shelves. It does have a ladder rack. The ladder rack is adjustable, so you can move this up and down as needed. As we get to the rear of the truck, so this is where your tailgate would flip down, we have our 3,500 PSI, 8-gallon per minute pressure washer. So the pressure washer is a Honda GX690 motor, and the pump is a TSF series General Pump. General Pump is very big in the pressure washer industry. It's very well known. We use it on our hot water units, our cold water units, just a heavy duty, old school, reliable pump. The engine does have an hour meter on it. It is electric start. Hour meter makes it really easy to track maintenance. As far as maintenance goes, there's already an oil drain for the pump, an oil drain for the engine. So maintaining the pressure washer is as easy as it can get, really. A few other things about the pressure washer. We have a cool bypass system. So this yellow hose here actually cycles water back to your water tank whenever you're off the trigger. So the engine's still running, but the water is always moving. It's either coming out the wand or it's cycling back to the water tank whenever we have it set up on that cool bypass system. This protects the pump. It keeps it from overheating when the trigger's not being pulled. Next to this is our priming valve or our bleeder valve. We use this when we want to get air out of the water line, out of the incoming water line from the water tank, or when we want to get air out of the pump head. And what that does is it allows for a much easier startup so that you're not turning on the engine and the water's trying to pull through there, but it can't whenever it doesn't have water in here. If it gets air stuck in here, it's very difficult to get these systems running. So this just makes it a very quick, very easy way to prime that system so that you don't have any issues with it. Oh yeah, soap injector. So the soap injector is placed on the hose reel itself. It is an adjustable injector. It's stainless steel. And when we say it's adjustable, we mean that it can be completely closed off, or it can be opened up to a 20% draw. If you're familiar with ratios, that would be a 1:5 ratio. 20% draw means it's pulling 20% soap and 80% water. So, and it just turns this little knob here, very easy to use. These can be connected to downstream manifolds, which I believe is an option for this package. And then down here, the way that it's set up right now, if you don't have that downstream manifold, we just have a dip tube. So this easily can be pulled out and dropped into either your bleach tank, or if you have a different 5-gallon bucket or a single-gallon bucket that you like to use for detergents, you can drop it down into that. But one of my favorite things is the hose is always long enough to be put back into your water tank so that you can rinse out your soap injector and just increase the life and reliability of your soap injector. So just a good way to keep that bleach rinsed out of there if you're using bleach often through the pressure washer. Moving over, we have 12-volt battery. This is what powers the electric starts on the engine. And then we have our Softwash system here. This is a GX200 engine, also electric start. And then we have our P40 Softwash pump, which is gear driven this is on their driver's side shelf now. The Softwash system is connected to the metering valves down below. So the metering valves are really easy to reach because generally this is up in a truck bed right at the height that you need it. So we have our water valve, our surfactant valve, and our bleach valve. The bleach valve is based on you using 12.5% bleach. There are numbers on this on the valve itself that tell you as you turn it what percentage of bleach you're drawing. So it makes it very easy to change from house mix ratios to roof mix ratios or anywhere in between. This valve below your bleach valve is a flush valve. So you can rinse out your bleach valve, you can rinse the bleach out of your pump, but you can also just rinse the house at full flow. So you have all the water coming through here and all the water coming through here, making it much easier and much faster to rinse. As we move around to the rest of the driver's side, we have our 7-gallon surfactant tank, and then you can see the 55-gallon bleach tank, all of which are connected to the Softwash system. And then we have our 11-gallon fuel tank. So this is what is connected to the 8-gallon pressure washer. The 8-gallon pressure washer has a fuel pump, so it can draw from a much larger fuel source. This can't be seen through, but we do have a gauge on top to see where your fuel level is at. And then of course there's a vent as well on the tank. Other things that weren't mentioned is we do have filters that go to every single piece of equipment. There's a filter before it goes to the tank, and then there's a filter before it goes to the pressure washer, and another filter before it goes to the Softwash system. We really want to stress how important it is to keep those pumps free of debris, but also we put ball valves in front of those so that you can quickly check those filters if your tank is full. You don't have to drain your tank or worry about any of that before you check those filters. Speaking of tank drain, we have one of those on here too. There's a drain that's accessible from the back of the skid. I can probably pull around here. Sometimes they have it all tied up already, which they do. So there's a 3/4 inch hose that comes right to the back of the skid, and it's got a brass ball valve on the end. Very easy to drain that as needed, or to use it as a hand washing area, fill a bucket, whatever you need to do. Plenty of additional options that are available for this, such as putting a surface cleaner rack on top that can hold your surface cleaner and keep it locked into place. There are some remote options available for this too. So if you have additional questions, you want more information, we have a ton of that on our website. It's 3rpressurewashers.com. Or feel free to give us a call and we can discuss anything, go over how the equipment is used, or any other questions that you have. Thank you.